ma'am.
Aren't you going to speak to me at all this morning?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
May I know the reason?
You already know the reason, Mrs. Wheeler. There's no sense in my telling you something you already know.
So that's it. You can't stay angry with me forever.
Yes, ma'am, I can. Unless you change your mind about leaving Houston.
Morning, Mrs. Marshall.
You were sure in a hurry to leave the ranch this morning.
Well, I had a lot of work to do today. I had to get a head start.
I didn't even see you.
Actually, what is this? You were asleep when I left. I didn't want to wake you up, that's all.
Thought maybe you were avoiding me.
Avoiding you? Why would I want to avoid you?
Because of all of this.
Oh. What about it?
You still haven't explained to me how you intend to pay for it.
Well, it's really quite simple. I plan to sell the ranch to Grandma for $5 million.
Nina, nice surprise. How are you?
Artie Newman, the best detective south of the North Pole. I'm just fine, thank you. You know, you would never be cast as a private eye in a movie. You just don't look the role.
Well, that's why I'm good at my job. So, how are Vicky and Stryker? I haven't seen them for a few weeks.
They're fine, too.
Now, what can I do for you, Rena?
Artie, I have a very special favor to ask of you.
Sure, what is it?
I want you to follow Ashley Marshall, Justin Marshall's wife.
Texas, starring Beverly McKinsey.
Rena?
Rena Decker's office. Well, Mrs. Decker will be back in a moment. Let me take a message. Your name? Fine, I'll have her called the moment she comes in. Thank you.
Grant, what are you doing answering Rena's calls?
Well, somebody has to. She's obviously not here, and her secretary isn't outside.
Well, where is she?
I don't know. Nobody seems to know. She's been gone all morning.
That's odd.
I've got an important report to go over with her, and I'm wind up answering her telephone. I don't have time for this.
Who does?
Rena Decker's office. Who? Yes. I'll have her call. Thank you. There's obviously a jam up at the beauty salon. They have to move her hairdressing appointment until later.
No, you're really getting the hang of being a secretary?
Oh, be quiet, TJ. This is not funny.
Well, Rena probably has a good reason for not being here.
Better. Yes.
I don't think I quite understood you. You want me to follow Mrs. Justin Marshall?
That's right. Don't worry, I have a very good reason in asking you to do this.
I don't know.
Now, I know you've done a lot of detective work because Mama and Daddy
That's
rave
true,
about
I have.
you. Good. Then you shouldn't have any trouble in doing this for me.
Well, that all depends what it's for. Most of the investigative work I do for Vicky and Strike is for business reasons. Is this business?
Not exactly.
Rena, if you want me to follow someone, I have to know why.
I want you to find out who Mrs. Marshall's doctor is.
I'm still not making any sense out of this.
Mrs. Marshall claims to be pregnant. I have every reason to believe that she's lying.
So you want me to follow her to find out if she's pregnant?
Yes, exactly. Will you do this for me?
I don't usually get involved in this kind of thing. And I still don't know why you want to know this.
Hardy, please, it is very important to me.
Look, I don't think that...
If you get this information for me, there'll be a nice little package of money in there for you.
Look, I think you'd be better off getting someone else, someone who does this kind of thing.
No, I wouldn't think of it. Hardy, you've got to help me. Her name is Ashley Marshall. She works in the building right across the street from World Oil for Marshall Oil Company.
I remember that company. Are they back in business?
For the time being. Hardy, I hope you get right on this because it means an awful lot to me. Have you gone clear out of your mind? $5 million. What makes you think that your grandmother's going to pay that for that ranch?
She wants it. I know how badly she wants it.
But it's not worth nearly that much.
Maybe not to someone else, but it will be worth it to Grandma.
Now, Justin, wait a minute. Did Kate actually say she was going to pay that for the ranch?
No, not yet, but she will.
Oh, not in your lifetime. Justin, she isn't crazy. Now, why would she pay that for the ranch?
For Steve.
I'm sorry, I still don't understand.
It's very simple, Ashley. She thinks it's very important for Steve to grow up on the ranch. If Steve is there, Ginny and Ryan have to be there.
Oh. And Ryan Connor won't live in the same place as Justin Marshall.
Right. Now you've got the picture. Won't upset you very much if I sell the ranch, will you?
Sweetheart, you know I don't mind. I've tried to get you to sell the ranch back to Kate from the beginning. But
what, dear?
I don't think you're going to get that kind of money for it. And I just hope that you're not counting on that money to get you out of this financial bind you're in.
Ashley, you worry too much. You let me worry about the money. You worry about yourself and our baby.
Hello, Page One Boutique. Nita speaking. May I help you? Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. No, I'll be here. Bye.
Nita, I just finished doing the books from yesterday. Honey, for our first day, we did all right.
That's great.
Who was on the phone?
Billy Joe.
What does he want?
He wants to come over to see the baby.
Oh, well, that's no problem. Sweetheart, Billy Joe Jr. sleeping like a top in the back room. Nita.
Paige, I don't know why, but I just feel so funny about having Billy Joe come here.
Funny why?
I don't know. I guess it's because he hasn't come to see Billy Joe Jr. for about 2 months.
Sweetheart, Billy Joe sees the baby all the time.
Yeah, I know, but... Well, this time he's coming in person. Usually he sends Ruby, and Ruby picks up the baby and then takes him to the apartment.
I thought things were getting better between you two.
What makes you think that?
Because I saw you talking at the party.
Yeah, but I did all the talking. No. Billy Joe still doesn't want to have anything to do with me.
Oh, honey. He can't mean that. Not if he's coming over.
Paige, that's what's bothering me here. I don't understand why all of a sudden he has to come over here.
Don't you want to be friends with him, Nita?
Oh, yes. More than ever. But, Paige, he won't forgive me for going through with the divorce.
Honey, it isn't easy for two people to get along after they've been divorced. It just takes time. Dennis felt the same way about me at first. But now I think we finally reached a point where we can start to build a friendship. And I know that the same thing is going to happen for you and Billy Joe.
think so?
Yes, I do.
Hello, Vicky.
Hello, Dennis.
I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you at a bad time.
No, you're not at all. Please sit down.
Thank you.
I wasn't aware you were back at work.
Well, actually, I'm not. That's the reason I'm here.
Oh, what is it, Dennis?
I came by to give you my notice.
Oh, Dennis. I'm very sorry to hear that. But you know, you really should be talking to Elliot about this. It is his department.
Well, I've already spoken to my father. But I felt that since you're the one who arranged for me to work at KVIK in the first place, I should give you some kind of explanation.
No, you don't owe me any explanation. Are you taking a job in a related field?
No, it's nothing like that. As a matter of fact, I'm not taking a job at all. Not right now, anyway.
Oh, you taking a vacation?
Sort of. I just need to get away for a while.
Well, what are you planning to do?
I don't have any plans. I guess when you come right down to it, I've never really known what I wanted to do. I'm just falling into things, and I'm tired of living my life that way.
I can understand that, Dennis.
You can?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do. And I think you're doing the right thing. And if there's ever anything I can do to help you, please let me know.
Well, thank you very much, Vicky.
Well, Dennis, we're going to miss you. And you've done a very good job for us. If you do decide to stay in broadcast journalism, there are always openings at other stations in the Victory Network.
Thank you, Vicky. But right now I want to put as much distance as I can between myself and the things that have been happening in my life lately. You know my mother's leaving Houston as well, don't you?
Yes, I do. Are you going with her?
No. Whatever decision I make will be my own. But right now I'm not really sure where I'm going. I'll see you later.
Good luck, Dennis.
Thank you.
Vivian.
Oh, Mr. Wheeler, am I ever glad to see you.
Why? What's the matter? What's wrong?
Would you please talk to Mrs. Wheeler
About what?
about her leaving Houston? She kept that a secret from you because she didn't want you to talk her out of it.
Oh, Vivian, she didn't keep it a secret from me. She told me about it yesterday. I just didn't take her seriously.
Well, you're wrong, Mr. Wheeler. Believe me, I know her. I know she's very serious about
Vivian,
leaving.
I don't know what...
You just can't let her do this. Got to make her see that she's just running away.
Vivian, I can't stop Mrs. Wheeler from leaving Houston if she's made up her mind.
See, the thing is that she keeps saying that she's made a mess of things here, and in a way, of course, that's true. But, Mr. Wheeler, there's so many people who want her to stay here. I'm going to be in the kitchen, so just tell me when you finish talking to her.
Ashley? Ashley? What is it you want with my wife, TJ? She's a beautiful woman, isn't she? Actually, I wanted to see you. I don't know if we have anything to talk about. I thought it was real interesting that you leased these offices right across the street from World Oil. Something of a coincidence. Maybe. This does happen to be the best location in town, though. Oh, then that's your reason for locating here. What are you implying? Nothing. But there is something that we've got to talk about. What's that, TJ? Oil leases. The ones that you were working on at World Oil just before you left. See, I'm going to be keeping a real close eye on those leases. Oh, you are? Are you implying that I would try to steal those World Oil leases? No, I'm just putting you on notice. That if you should, shall we say, think of trying it, it just wouldn't be a very wise move on your part, Justin. TJ, I would never try to monkey with those leases. Well, good. Now we understand each other. Yes. Is Ashley going to be working here with you? There you go again. Asking about my wife. Merely a passing interest, Justin. Nothing to get excited about. We did go to school together, or have you forgotten?
No, I haven't forgotten. But it's a long time ago. I think it would be good for you to keep your relationship with my wife in the past where it belongs.
Well, I was just wondering how long she was going to be working. I mean, I thought with the baby and all.
Thank you for your concern. She's still working. The baby is still months away.
Yes. May I speak to Dr. Kirkman, please? No, I'm not a regular patient. This is Mrs. Justin Marshall. Thank you. Dr. Kirkman, this is Ashley Marshall. Is it possible for me to come in and see you today? It's very important. Dr. Kirkman, this is really very important. Is it possible for me to see you tomorrow? I need help.
Grant, what are you doing home in the middle of the morning?
Vivian called me at the office, said there was an emergency here, asked me to come right home, and I find out that the emergency is you.
I love Vivian dearly, but she does tend to overreact.
Well, she's not overreacting. You are serious about leaving Houston, aren't you?
I told you yesterday I was leaving.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't think that you were serious about it. As a matter of fact, I talked to Elliot about it. He didn't believe it either.
Elliot obviously doesn't know me as well as he thinks he does.
What are you trying to prove?
I'm not trying to prove anything.
But you can't leave like this.
I really don't see why everyone's in such an uproar. Oh, I'll bet some people, and you know exactly who I mean, are dancing in the streets.
Oh, come on, Iris, I'm serious. Vivian thinks that you're running away, and I'm beginning to agree with her.
And if I am, is that so terrible?
Yes, it is. If you are running away. Oh, Iris, you made a mistake. I've made mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Why don't you reconsider?
I've made my decision.
Hey there, buddy. Huh? Watch it.
Look, what's he doing?
Huh?
Yeah. It's your daddy.
Little buddy. Huh? Yeah. Watch this. Watch it. Fuck it. Watch it. Don't go away from Daddy, huh? I think it's time for his nappy poo, huh?
Yeah, time to
take a nappy poo.
Want to take a nap? Come on, Mommy. Come on. Yeah. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'll be back.
He seems like it here at the boutique, huh?
Yeah, he does. I'm glad you came, Billy Joe. I'm real glad.
I came to see Billy Joe Jr.
I know. But usually you send Ruby over to pick him up.
Yeah, well, Ruby had some business to take care of this morning, so she couldn't make it.
She could have come in the afternoon. You didn't have to see him this morning.
Nita, don't go reading things into this. I didn't come over for any other reason except to see Billy Joe Jr., and that's all. Now, I'm even sorry I did that.
Billy Joe.
What?
We can't go on like this, not talking to each other, not ever seen each other.
It's no good, Nita.
It's not natural. I want us to be friends.
You should have thought all about that before we went and got that divorce, darling. I didn't make the decision. It was your choice, Nita, not mine.
Why do you keep on doing this? Why do you keep on punishing me for divorcing you?
I'm going to keep it up, darling. It's just like a divorce, permanent.
Other people get divorced. They work things out.
I am working things out. I'm working things out so I don't have anything to do with you. Now, if you have trouble dealing with that, Nita, that's your problem. You brought this all on yourself. You got what you wanted. I hope you're happy.
Billy Joe, I was hoping you'd still be here when I got back.
Paige, would you look after Billy Joe Jr. for me? Gotta go to lunch.
Sure, I'd be glad to, Nita.
Mom's in the living room.
What's the matter with Vivian? She mad at me?
No. She's upset about my leaving Houston.
Well, it's just as well she's not going to be here for what I came to say to you then.
And what is that?
I'm leaving Houston, too.
What on earth are you talking about?
I have made up my mind. I am leaving.
Why? Why are you leaving?
I've learned a lot about myself in the last couple of months. I just want to start all over again and put all the mistakes I've made behind me.
Dennis, have you really thought this through?
Yes, I have. And I am leaving, believe me.
Grant and Vivian think that I'm running away. Don't you think you're doing the same thing?
Mom, I'm not running away from anything. I'm running towards something. The only thing is, I just don't know what it is yet.
Isn't Nita all right?
No, she isn't.
What is it, Billy Joe?
I'm not sure I know.
Did you two have a fight?
I guess I shouldn't have come over here.
Billy Joe, I think it is very important that you come here and see Nita and the baby.
It only causes trouble every time I do.
You and Nita have to work things out. You have to come to some sort of understanding.
I don't want to work things out. I just want to be able to see my son.
Okay. All right. I understand. But Nita is still the mother of your child.
Every time I'm around her, I just want to hurt her.
It's because you still love her. Deep down inside.
Of course I love her. Of course I love her. That's what I told the judge at the divorce hearing. I told the judge that. I told Nita. I even told that fancy lawyer of hers, but it didn't make much difference to anybody, now did it?
Nita wants to be your friend, Billy Joe.
Oh, is that what Nita wants? To be my friend? Well, what about me? What about what I want? Nobody seems to care a whole lot about that now.
Now, that's not true.
Yes, it is. Nita says she wants to be friends, and old Billy Joe's supposed to just jump up and be friends. Let me tell you something. It just isn't easy to be just friends with somebody that you really love. I either want Nita to be my wife, or I don't want anything to do with her at all.
I know what you mean. Believe me, I know exactly what you're going through.
Yeah, I guess you do.
Billy Joe, you helped me make a very difficult decision in my life. I would like to help you now if I could.
Look, Paige, I appreciate your concern, really, I do. But the best way you can help me is just stay out of it, please, okay? I got some work to take care of, so excuse me.
Well, if it isn't my big brother, Justin. What are you doing here? I can't seem to do anything right anymore. First Dennis and this party business, which I couldn't get out of. And now poor Ashley. The last thing I wanted to do was hurt that girl.
Did you hurt her?
I'm afraid so. It wasn't intentional.
Well, Mrs. Decker forgave me. Maybe Mrs. Marshall will, too.
Oh, I don't think so. I've ruined the child's life. The same way I ruined Dennis's life and Ryan's.
Mrs. Wheeler, Dennis and Mr. Connor seem perfectly fine to me.
Well, Ashley isn't perfectly fine.
She certainly has a loud voice when she's mad. I could hear her all the way back in the kitchen. Oh, I was really surprised that she was shouting at you. She's usually so shy.
She has every reason to be angry with me.
I came to ask what you want for lunch.
Never mind lunch. I want to have a talk with you.
I don't want to talk, Mrs. Wheeler.
Vivi, we can't go on this way.
You didn't even discuss it with me before you decided you were going to leave. You didn't even ask me about it.
I realize that. I suppose I was wrong. Come on, Vivi, sit down.
I followed you all the way from Bay City to Houston because I thought you needed me.
I don't know what I would have done without you.
And I worked for you when you were Mrs. Bancroft and when you were Miss whoever you were in between and when you were Mrs. Wheeler. And I stood by you when you were in all kinds of trouble. I just feel like you're abandoning me.
Oh, Vivi. You've always been a wonderful friend. Good and loyal to me. But you must understand I made a mess of too many people's lives.
You always meant well, Mrs. Wheeler. You always thought whatever you were doing was for the best.
Thank you. But you know what I'm saying is true. You know it because I heard you admitting it to Grant.
But that doesn't mean you should be running away from everything. That you should be wasting your life and throwing it away.
It's for the best.
Thing is, it would be different if you knew where you were going, if you were going for some positive reason, but just running off, that's just terrible. You should be leaving to do something. If Mr. Wheeler was looking at you down from heaven, he would be shocked.
You're right. He would be. Well, that's it, Vivi. Alex.
That's what?
I should be going somewhere for a purpose. Dennis said that he was running toward something.
I don't understand.
Well, I do. The Rockefellers and the Fords, that's it. They all have foundations. I could move to New York and create the Alex Wheeler Foundation.
What?
I could do wonderful things for people, and it would be a memorial to Alex.
You mean like the Fords and the Rockefellers with all their money?
Yes.
But you could do that, Mrs. Wheeler. You have as much money as those people, don't you?
Well, I certainly have enough money to help the less fortunate people of the world. That's the answer, Vivi. I'll go to New York and create a foundation in Alex's name.
Rena,
Hello, Grant.
where have you been?
Oh, what's gotten you New
I've been
Year's
looking for
Day?
you all morning.
Oh, well, I had some important business to take care of.
Rena, your business is in this office. I had something this morning that I had discussed with you that was very urgent. Other people have been looking for it. Do you see how many telephone messages you have?
Well, yes, I'm going to take care of them.
This is not a fashion show, Rena.
I'm aware of that.
Well, then where in the name of heaven have you been all morning when you're supposed to be in your office?
I'd intended to be.
Where were you?
I said I had some important business to take care of.
What business?
It was personal. I don't care to discuss it.
Rena, you cannot run this office this way. You didn't even phone in to say that you were going to be late.
Well, I didn't realize it was going to throw this place into a tizzy.
Do you understand the responsibilities of your job?
Yes, I do, Grant. And I happen to take my responsibilities very seriously.
Good. Because if you don't, you won't have the job very long.
Are you threatening me?
I'm trying to wake you up and get you to do your job. Otherwise, I'm going to have to ask you to step aside and let me get somebody in here who can do it.
Look, Grant, you don't have to worry about that. I can do this job.
I'm sure you can. That's why I'm talking to you this way.
I'm surprised you're talking to me so harshly.
I'm talking to you the way I would talk to anybody else. The fact that you're a woman won't mean that I'm going to pussyfoot around. That's not my style. Rena, you're a bright woman. And all I'm asking you to do is give this job your full attention.
Grant, sorry about this morning. It won't happen again, I promise.
Call your hairdresser.
Hello, Hardy. It's nice to see you.
Hi, Vicky.
Please sit down.
I'm sorry to bother you on this matter.
Well, what is it, Hardy?
Well, I've been asked to do something, and I wanted to check it out with you before I went through with it.
What do you mean?
Rena?
Rena? What's she up to?
Well, she came to see me earlier this morning.
Oh? What did she want?
Something I don't do.
What did she ask you to do?
She asked me to follow Justin Marshall's wife, Ashley. Rena wants to know if Mrs. Marshall is pregnant.
Oh, I don't believe this. This is too much. Where did I get my hands on that girl?
Oh, look, maybe I shouldn't have come over.
Oh, no, Hardy. Please, you did the right thing, and I'm sorry I exploded. But this thing with Justin and Ashley has become an obsession with Rena. Please, Hardy, I would appreciate it if you would just forget that Rena ever came through your door this morning.
Okay. I can't say I was looking forward to following Mrs. Marshall.
No, this calls for a personal visit. Thank you, Hardy, for coming over to tell me about this. I'll see you out, and then I am going over and straighten my daughter out.
Very nice place you have here, Paige. Very classy.
Thank you. I'm glad you approve.
I read that glowing report in the paper about your opening.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Too bad you didn't bother to accept my invitation. You could have experienced the gala firsthand.
I don't remember getting an invitation. It must have been lost in the mail.
Doubtful. Yours was delivered by hand, Justin. What is it? Were you waiting for all the results to come in? Waiting to see what Iris's opinion was going to be?
Iris's opinions are of no concern to me anymore. I don't know if you're aware of this, but the venerable Mrs. Wheeler had me booted out of World Oil.
Oh, I'm aware.
I'm forming my own company, Marshall Oil.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. You see, I've been pretty busy the last couple of weeks getting the boutique ready for the opening. Actually, I'm not surprised at all that you didn't show up for the opening. I sent invitations to everyone in the family, and nobody bothered to respond.
Doesn't that bother you, Paige?
I was kind of hoping that Grandma might come.
Grandma isn't up to stepping out these days, Paige.
Why are you here, Justin?
I'm your brother.
Really? What is it really, Jess? You think that I'm going to be useful now that it looks like my boutique's going to be a success?
We haven't been as close as we should be lately. I'd like to change all that.
Oh, Nita, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm sorry I rushed out like that.
That's all right. Oh, have you met my brother, Justin?
No. Oh, hello, Justin.
Nita?
Well, if you excuse me, can I go back into the back room and have my lunch?
Oh, of course. Go right ahead.
You call me if you need anything.
Isn't that Billy Joe Wright's wife?
Ex-wife. They're divorced.
I didn't know that. He seems to be making quite a name for himself in the Phil Roberts show.
Yes, he does, doesn't he?
I guess with that kind of overnight success, it places quite a strain on a marriage.
Actually, I don't think that had anything to do with it at all. Poor Billy Joe.
Why, poor Billy Joe?
I just feel sorry for him. I was talking to Elliot this morning. He said that Vicki Bellman was trying to get him a show of his own. This should be the high point of his life. But if he doesn't work things out with Nita, I don't think it's going to mean very much to him.
His own show?
Justin, I probably shouldn't have told you that. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't repeat it.
I won't tell a soul.
Promise?
Cross my heart, hope to die.
Oh, Ashley, thank you for coming right over.
Well, you said it was important.
It is important. I've made a decision, and I want to share it with you first.
What is it?
I'm moving to New York to set up a foundation.
A what?
A foundation. The Alex Wheeler Foundation. I'm going to use my money to help others improve their lives. What do you think?
I don't know what to say. What inspired you to do this?
It's my way of trying to make amends for all the trouble I've caused. And I think you can relate to that better than just about anyone because I've caused you so much trouble.
Well, that's all over now.
You haven't come to see me. You haven't even called me since the day I made the mistake of telling Rena that you weren't really pregnant.
I'd really rather forget about that whole thing.
You're right. It is best forgotten. Besides, things do seem to have worked out for the best, don't they?
I beg your pardon?
Well, you are pregnant after all.
Well, I suppose it has turned out for the best.
You are pregnant, aren't you?
Well, of course I am.
I'm so happy for you, darling. I love you very much. And I hope someday you'll forgive me for all the pain I caused you.
Where were you this morning?
If you've come to throw stones, you're a little late, TJ. Grant was already here.
Well, Grant had every right to be upset.
I know.
Well, good. You know, things are really hopping around here this morning.
And I should have been here. Is that what you've come to say?
Nope. I wanted to give you this list of oil leases. They're the ones we almost had firmed up just before Justin left. I think you ought to get to work on them right away.
And Justin might try to pirate them, is that it?
Well, I don't think Justin would be that stupid. He knows he couldn't get away with it.
Where that snake is concerned, you'll never be sure of anything.
You know, he's got office spaces right across the street.
Yes, I know. I've already seen them.
When?
Oh, I was one of his first visitors.
Is that where you were this morning?
Why is everyone so damn interested in where I was this morning?
Rena, what on earth do you think you're up to?
Oh, what are you talking about?
All right, young lady, I'll spell it out for you. Hiring a private detective to spy on Ashley Marshall.
Mama, I don't think this is something we should discuss in front of TJ.
I don't care who's here. Rena, if you're going to pull things like this, I am certainly not going to cover for you.
I had my reasons for doing it.
Of course you had your reasons. You hired a private detective to find out if Ashley Marshall was pregnant.
Well, he had no business running to you. He's supposed to be a private detective.
His kind of work is tied to business, not to the sordid kind of thing you asked him to do. He's not a two-bit operator.
Mama.
Now, Rena, I want you to lay off this thing with Justin and Ashley. Do you hear me? And I want you to promise me that you are not going to try to hire another private detective.
All right. I promise I won't hire a detective.
Leave it alone, Rena. Drop it. Right now.
I guess today isn't my day.
So, that's where you were this morning.
This is none of your business, TJ, so just stay out of it.
Why are you so determined to prove that Ashley isn't pregnant?
Oh, I know she's not pregnant. I just know she isn't. I promised I wouldn't hire another detective, but I'll get proof on Ashley even if I have to do it myself.
Then what?
I'll deliver it to Justin in person.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.